Welcome back, subscribers. This is Johnny Hopper, and in today's track preview, I have arguably the best track in Colorado. If not the best, it's one of the best. The track is called Sweney Cycle Park, and it's in BFE, the middle of nowhere, also known as Brush, Colorado. I would say the terrain consists of loam and sand, which is an awesome combination for a motocross track because it creates many different lines, different ruts in pretty much every corner, and it's real soft and it's easily pushed away. So if you mess up, you can push through some of the ruts, which normally here in Colorado, we live in such a dry, I would say semi-hot climate, so we normally get this just blue groove, and tracks, if they do have enough water to water them down, well, we end up getting just these hard pack ruts that will end up being these big potholes. I would say this is probably one of the roughest tracks on a race day here in Colorado. It's closed to the general public. It's only open when they're going to have a race or an special event like this one. This track makes for great amateur national and even national prep. If you've watched my videos before, you know I'm trying to come out of retirement to race the Lakewood National. And yes, more than likely, if I do qualify, I am going to get lapped by the best riders in the world. So people out there that keep making these comments about me calling myself a lapper, well, you know what? I'm extremely proud to be able to be lapped by Roxon and Tomac and Marvin. And I never thought I was going to even ride a dirt bike again, let alone get somewhat back to the speed that I used to have pre-injury, pre-nerve damage, pre-yada yada yada, woe's me type of shit. Nice cheater line there. So I just got my suspension back from one of the best suspension gurus here in Colorado. His name is John Old. So if you're in Colorado, give him a holler. He does an awesome job. And this track is so rough that I actually ended up going stiffer on my sag, my rear shock sag, but I actually went softer and faster on my low speed and also on my rebound. And same thing with the forks. I went softer on compression and I went faster on rebound because of all these little small choppy acceleration braking bumps because of how soft the dirt is with that consistency of sand. It did take me a few motos to really dial it in because I started getting some head shake, which gave me the impression that my bike was still too stiff, so I actually went lower on my air pressure in my forks. This track has some sentimental value to me. It's always going to be close to my heart because this was the track that I got my last Pro-Am points to get my pro license. This is actually the only Pro-Am here in Colorado, and I ended up winning the race, which was pretty cool. Normally I haven't won too much here in Brush, but I was able to take home the W that time, which I was pretty cool, pretty excited about. And as far as my gearing setup is, I'm actually at a 13-tooth front countershaft sprocket, and oh, there's another cheater line, and I was actually at a 50-tooth rear sprocket. So in Supercross I might end up going to a 14 countershaft all the way up to a 52 on the rear, but for motocross I want the gears a little bit longer, and I like to ride the motorcycle in high gear where it doesn't really sound like I'm really, perhaps maybe it's my riding style, but it doesn't look like I'm really trying that hard because I'm pretty much I like to stay in high gears around the corners. I'm mainly in third, and then I'll shift fourth down the straightaways to a certain extent. There's some slow corners that I'll actually shift down into second if I almost have to come to pretty close to a complete stop. But fun fact, this track I've actually seen Tomac lose on. Tomac is from Cortez, Colorado, and he normally doesn't race any of the local stuff, but I believe it was 2009, 2010, he just signed with Geico Honda, and so he was coming out to, I don't know, show everybody who's boss, and there's this individual named Bobby Fitch. Him and I don't really get along off the track, but I do respect him on the track. He's actually been an ambassador here locally for Colorado, and he's been able to do some pretty impressive stuff with getting a 2-digit number on the national scene. But that day, he actually beat Tomac, which Tomac wasn't on his factory bikes. And I know in all my videos I talk about, oh, you need money, you need these bikes, but it just shows you that it does help. When you get to a certain level, For instance, this was one of Bobby's hometown tracks, but when you get to a certain skill level, the bike has more to do in the factor of going fast than the actual rider. I know you guys probably don't believe me, and I'm probably going to get a bunch of shitty comments for saying this, but you take Ricky Carmichael, Ryan Dungey, you put them on a stock motorcycle and you put them up against your top pros at your local track, and they're not going to be 10-15 seconds a lap faster like they are on a national scene. It's just not going to happen. They still might be faster because they are talented individuals and they're the best riders in the world, but they're not going to be that 10 plus seconds. They might be 1 to 2. And man, how things have changed since 2017 when I was sitting on the couch waiting to have a bunch of these surgeries. Now that I'm able to actually ride a little bit, just how fast some of the riders are, and watching these kids grow up and see their skill level, I'm super stoked for these guys, and I can't wait to see if there's anything that I can do to try to help them to get better, get faster. And I'm completely cheating right now, but I'm just having fun battling and, try to get this guy's way. As pessimistic as I seem about some of my videos, I'm actually really excited for how the sport is progressing and where we are going in the future, and I would love to somewhat be a part of it. And if there's anything that I can do to help you guys become a better rider, just please message me on Instagram. I will try to get to you. I want to try to give back as much as I can, because I was a selfish ass when I was trying to make this, when this was my life, when all I cared about was racing and how to get to the next race, and what corners could I cut, and yada yada yada. And I want to be completely transparent on the mistakes that I've made and what I did correctly to try to help these riders up and coming. Now, it doesn't even matter if you're in the vet A class or in the 40C class, or if you're a 50 rider. Whatever I can do to help, let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all the love I'm getting. Even some of the comments that end up hurting my feelings a bit. I believe there's no such thing as bad press, so I've made some mistakes. I apologize for them. I'm only human. And to the hundreds of people that have given me some hate comments, you know what? I still love you guys. I appreciate you guys watching my stuff. And nothing is fair in life, so just big shout out to all you guys that potentially don't like me as a person, or even more don't like me as a rider. So I would like to extend a thank you to one of my subscribers. I am sorry, buddy, that I didn't look up your name, but I do remember you because you pointed out that I was doing something completely stupid with my GoPro, and you were able to help me mount it with some JB Weld and put it on the proper position on my motorcycle so we could get some good footage. So thank you guys. This is Johnny Hopper. Please like, subscribe. Again, follow me on Instagram. If you don't, I don't care. But until next time, have fun, be safe.